What is up, everybody? It's your boy Brian from American Auto, and we have an empty garage-ish. There's a Harley, and there's an engine. Let me tell y'all what's going on. That's the engine for the OBS Chevy out there. Already got the gloves on. We ready to go. What we're doing right now is we're pulling cam bearings out. And I got 3 of them out, and I figured I might better bring y'all on and show y'all what I'm talking about. So what I did here is front of the engine to the rear. And of course the engine is upside down, but I know that's which way my cam bearings are facing. So what you want to do, or what I did, is took a picture, or not took a picture, but looked in there and numbered my cam bearings 1 through 4. And looked for the oil holes, okay, that are already there. Now, I noticed on those cam bearings going in, the rest of these are supposed to be at 12 o'clock the way it's sitting, but they're slightly off. So that may justify the wearing in it, I don't know. But we're gonna put them back exactly straight, if possible. But what I did is just make my circles and mark where the holes are, okay? And you know, you definitely want your bearings to go back the way they come out, or as close to possible. So, this was number 1, and it was sitting, like I said, like I showed you in that picture, it was like, matter of fact, there's the marks where I marked the holes, and I know the engine's setting kind of wonky, a little sideways on the stand, but that's the way it was set in there, okay? And I mean, you can see on the bottom side of the cam bearing here, let me see, right there, you can see where it's kind of worn quite a bit on that one edge. So we want to make sure we get these back where they go. But the biggest thing is getting them all out first. So I'm going to put you guys on the stand and show you how this works. Okay, so how this works, we'll go ahead and pull this all the way back out right at the moment, so I can show you. But your cam bearings set inside the block like so, okay? So you'll take your tool here, find the right size sleeve to go in it, okay? And you'll slide this in to the cam block like that. Now notice it's a loose fit. You'll take your wrench and reach down inside the block like that, put it on the end, and hand tighten this like that till you snug it up. And that ridge right there will stop the tool from going any further. The cone goes into the front of the block to keep it straight, okay? And you'll keep positive pressure on this and just whack the back of this right here to knock your cam bearing out, and then you grab it out with the magnet. You'll loosen that up just like so. Slide the bearing off, grab it with your magnet, pull it out. Okay, that's how it works. Now, the reason we're doing this, like I showed you, is because the cam bearings that are in here, although not hideous, they're also not excellent. You definitely want light. That helps a lot. And because this is a small block Chevy engine, it wants to mess with you every chance it gets when your wrench has a bit of a bow in the neck. So you don't have to go super duper duper tight. Just snug it with your hand. Slide the cone back in up here. Okay, that's in there, right? And I'm using this hammer here, and then just a couple blows. Yeah, just about. Just like that. And then take your wrench and your rag. Set that in there like so. Loosen it up. Magnet. pull your tool back out and your bearing out, same time. And that is how you pull your cam bearings out, just like that, okay? Not a hard process, guys, not at all, okay? And as you can see on this one, again, it's kind of worn. So we're gonna put brand new cam bearings in this motor. All right, everybody, we back. It's the next day, and we are working on the OBS Chevy, and we have been busy this morning, and American Auto has hired its first employee. That'd be my son. So we're gonna see if we can teach that boy how to build an engine and how to build a vehicle in general. I figured this would be a good one to start him on, since it is from ground up and all that, and he seems interested to learn. But anyway, guys, so let me show you where we're at right this second. Overlook the camera, I gotta wipe it off. We went ahead and pulled all the pistons out as well, because I need to dingle ball this block. And I want to clean these pistons up a little bit better. But we got the crank out. I'm gonna run the numbers on that crank, or somebody else can. But we're gonna clean these pistons up a little bit better, get some of this off of there. And all the rings are really good. So there's no collapsed rings or anything like that, which I didn't figure there was. But yeah, so that's where we're at. Now, in the meantime, the truck's sitting out there, and I'm gonna go hook the four-wheeler to it and pull it the rest of the way in here so we can start pulling the front end apart. So hang tight and I'll bring you back in just a second. All right, update 30. We got us a cylinder home. It's not the one I want. It's not a dingle ball. It's the, yeah, that kind. But for what we're doing, it should work. We're not gonna run in and out a whole bunch. This is simply just to clean the walls. Now, that being said, I got it, son. That being said, I got a coffee can here. I've got a coffee can, a jug of diesel, and some Marvel mystery oil. So we're gonna make us a mix up so that way we can dump that hone in and out so that we can use it on that engine and get it taken care of. So hang tight. On this small block Chevy crankshaft, we pulled the crank completely out, went ahead and pulled the pistons out. I showed you that yesterday. Reason being is because this joker was a little tight. It was a little tight. So we broke all the main cap sleeves, pulled all the pistons out, cleaned everything really good, checked all the bearings. The clearances on the bearings are amazing. Everything on the main shaft bearings are great. Okay, we already got the cam bearings back in, the new ones. Got those all aligned the way they're supposed to be. All that's set, okay? Put the crankshaft back in. Did it stair-step torque up, okay? These only torque at 70 foot-pounds. So I don't know if the last person to torque this down had a broken torque wrench or what, but we used the old digital torque wrench there. That's my new one. I like that thing. It's so much easier. But we torqued it down, did the plastic gauge right here on the center bearing, and it came out to 32. I don't know where I put the plastic gauge. Right. Oh, it's in the drawer over there. Anyway, it come out 32. That's within spec, okay? It's supposed to be 32 to 38 from what all I can find, okay? Now, because it went to spec, took that bearing cap back off, cleaned everything, put the assembly lube in it just for good lubricity, and then went back with the main caps, torqued everything down, and goo goo gachoo. I mean, you can't, look how smooth that is. Like, nothing. It's so easy. And, you know, yesterday before we took it apart, it still had oil in it. Not much, but it still had oil in it. But the point was, it was so hard to turn that crank. So, my reasoning behind it turned out good. So, that being said, we also honed the cylinders out just a little bit, just to kind of clean them up and put them cross hatches back in it. I didn't want to do too much because the only hone I could get was that guy there, and I do not like those. So we did that to a very bare minimum using a Marvel Mystery Oil and diesel fuel mix for the lubricity on that, which turned out quite well. So now I'm going to go through and clean up these skirts on these pistons. They're not scratched or anything. They're just dirty. I don't like the way that looks, so I want to make them look better. So we'll clean those up. I got them all marked where I had them. And make sure all the rings are good on them. And then we'll be putting those back in. So we'll get all that taken care of. And yeah, we'll bring you guys back in just a few. All right, so we got one side back in. Got them all labeled, arrows pointing the right way. Now to get this side in. And guys, I'm going to enlighten y'all on a little secret here. So this right here is going to be your lifesaver, okay? And all that is 2 little pieces of rubber hose to fit over your end cap studs to keep you from shoving the piston in and catching the crank, okay? So, always try and remember to do that. Also, me personally, I'll spray my seat, my coupling here, and I'll spray the cylinder wall down with PB Blaster just to help it slide in a little easier as well. And that's what gets them in there, in my opinion, better. So, there's always that. Now, I was going to put this on a time lapse and let you guys watch, but unfortunately, I'm listening to the Cooper Bogetti podcast. And, yeah, he's got Jimmy Dale on there, so it's worth a listen. So, if you're a Cooper Bogetti fan or a Jimmy Dale fan, this is the episode to watch, or listen to anyway, because they funny. They funny as hell. So, anyway, let's get back at it. All right, everybody, we back. I'm burning up right this second, but I'll show you why. But in the meantime, let's show you what's going on here. Bottom half of this engine going together slowly but surely. Now I got to pull it back off of here so I can put that rear main seal back in. Then we'll flip it over and start putting the camshaft in and all that. All the pistons are in there. But we got the transmission out of that truck. And anybody see anything funny about the drive shaft I took out of it? Leave it down in the comments below. It's awful light. Just saying. It's awfully light. I don't understand why the ends are aluminum. I don't know much about like carbon fiber drive shafts, but somebody tell me why that joker right there only weighs like 6 pounds from end to end. And it's for a full-size 1500 truck. Is that because they got rid of a carrier bearing out of it or something? Who knows? Let me know. Because it ain't the same as what's in mine. Of course, mine's 4-wheel drive. So, I don't know. Is there a difference? Somebody let me know. Anyway. So, we got the front end of the truck completely taken apart. I'll let the new guy today work on that. And till I got tired of waiting. And then I snatched the bumper off, the grill off, all that. It's in the back of the truck. Our next step tomorrow, we have to go down to the other building and make sure that it's cleaned out enough I can put all these parts in there, because we got to pull the front fenders off of here. We're going to pull that core support off, them headlights off, and all that, because we got to get in here and clean up the firewall and, yeah, all kind of stuff to get this thing ready. We're going to pull all that crappy exhaust out of there, and it'll get used on something else around here. I think I might have an idea. But yeah, start cleaning all this up. Like I said, this truck really is not in bad shape. The front suspension feels great on it still. But anyhow, we got to pull that cross member out back there. Right there. Yeah. Got to pull that cross member out. We're going to get down there and wire wheel the frame. Everywhere we can possibly get to on here without pulling the cab completely off any more than necessary, because we are in fact replacing the body bushing. Well, all the bushings on here. It's getting all new rubber and everything, so we got to jack the cab up and take it loose a little bit anyway. But yeah, we're putting on new door seals and everything in this truck. So anyway, I'm burning up, guys. I'm fixing to go in and get cleaned up before I go get the boss from North Carolina and all that jazz. So yeah, oh, new helpers. You tell them get the tools up. We'll teach him. he's going to learn one way or the other. Anyhow, but I'll just chuck those in there for right now. Anyhow, so for today, that's going to do it, guys. So do me a favor, make sure you leave me a comment, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, all that stuff. And also, see Satan's Harley right there? Yeah. Let me show you why I call that Satan's Harley. Because if you can see that number right there. Yeah. Now, granted, we're Christians here, and the guy that owns this is not a Satanist by any means. But it has changed the idea of the build behind this bike. So, but this bike is going to be its own complete different video too. Back to this. We're done with it for today. So I'll get back on it tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm going to move the car seat from that vehicle to that vehicle. Then I got to take myself inside and go get a shower to wash all this grease off my hands and off my body and all that stuff. So, anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. You guys, it's been a busy day. We got rides coming in, rides trying to go out, other work being done. I was working by myself today, getting that building down there cleaned out so we'd have room to put fenders and hoods and all that stuff. Anyway, I did manage to find a little bit of time to do this. We did manage to get these heads on here. If y'all caught the short, you seen this. We got them Flowtech 180s. And yeah, this is them. This is the ones that was ordered several months ago for this engine. So they're in, torqued down. Everything's within spec as of this moment. And yeah, we ain't got much longer before we get ready to put a camshaft in, drop in the lifters. All that's over in a box over there. And then we got to put these bad boys here in the way they go and push rods and all that stuff. So we still got a lot of work to do, guys, but just wanted to show y'all that the Flowtech heads are on and they fit beautifully. So anyway, I'll bring this back whenever I'm putting that camshaft in so that way y'all can see how I do it. I like to stand on the outside and be on the end with a hammer, so that way whenever you hit one of the bearings in there, you just bash through the bearing and just knock it onto it. It'll catch on the next one. So there's that. I like to use a 3-pound sledgehammer when I'm doing it too, so that way, you know, there's no way that the bearing, you know, because you see it's just a press fit in. So when you go to put the camshaft in and yeah, you understand what I'm saying. Just bash it in there. All right, everybody, we are back. It's another day. I'm getting my gloves on here because it is time to install the comp cam's camshaft. All right, so when you order your comp cams, they'll send you with the Pro Cam and lifter lubricant, okay? And that's the reason for the gloves, because you want, there's no such thing as too much lube when it comes to doing this. So we are going to open this up. And for those of you who don't know, the comp cams lube and the ultra slick is the same thing, okay? So if for some reason your comp cam does not come with this pack like it should, you can use that, or Napa sells a type of assembly lube, which is the Federal Mogul, and that stuff's really, really good too. Now, that being said, I would use any one of them, but you have to use at least something, okay? Junkyard Diggs just did this last night on his new video. You know, you just have to, make sure you protect everything. This weather is not cooperating and it sucks. Completely hot one day, completely cold the next. But here's our camshaft. Look at that beauty. Look at that. Look at that. All right. So, yep. Looks like it's the right one. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing lubed up. So I just want to make sure I get enough lube on absolutely everything. That might have been too much. Just right. Perfect. Yep, just soak everything down. And be gentle. All right. Now's about the time my phone will ring. Right when my hands are completely covered in assembly lube. Like I said, guys, there's no such thing as too much. You really want to lube your shaft. Lube it good. This stuff smells good. I might be a weirdo, but I love the smell of assembly lube. Oh, there we go. Now then, let's slide her on the rest of the way up in there. Right on. Okay. All right. That ain't gonna go in there. All right. Now I need to grab a screwdriver. Just like that. And she's in there. That is your camshaft install. Oh yeah. Yep. There's that. Now, next step, we need to drop our lifters in and push rods and all that. But we're gonna do a little bit of cleaning before we go all that far. So, because I got what looks like blood in the floor. So let's do some cleaning up here, guys, and then we'll get on to the next part here in just a minute. Okay? Okay. Hit the brakes. Stopping on the engine for just a minute. Reason being is because I had a truck come in with the brake locking up, so we're gonna knock that out real quick. He came in yesterday. We fixed the, we changed the caliper on it, and because I figured on a truck this new, being a 2012, that it wouldn't have a collapsed brake line. Well, we changed the caliper yesterday, and then lo and behold, he took it back home, and guess what? It was the caliper. Or it wasn't the caliper, it was brake line. So now, we got the brake line. So that's what we're gonna work on now, is the brake line. Once I get this thing pulled up here, we will jack it up. Well, I tell you what, this thing sounds good though. I've never seen one with a center console like this. Maybe that's how they are, or I don't know. But anyway, let's get this knocked out real quick and take it for a test drive. Gee, why does it take you so long to get work done? Well, let me elaborate. One, I work by myself. Two, when it's something like a brake line, I just run down to O'Reilly's and get it. Especially when I call ahead of time to make sure they have it in stock, and they tell me, yes, they have it in stock. You go down there and get it. I knew the price was awful high, but he price matched it for me. All for me to get back and realize that line there is really short. Right there to right there. This one here, on the other hand, is 3 feet long. Had I took this apart before I left, I would have known that, but I didn't, because I just trusted that they would get it right. Instead, what they did is they sold me the brake line to a 2500, not a 1500, and it's just wrong. So now I got to go back to O'Reilly's because I have nothing better to do with my day besides driving back and forth. God, I'm gonna do like Sleeper Dude and start calling it Wrong Auto because it's wrong. All right, guys, it's the next morning. Mama getting ready to leave for work. Baby going to the zoo. It's St. Patrick's Day. I'm gonna stay here today, and I'm gonna work on the Mercury for a minute. Since it is Sunday, I do get to have one day to myself. Yeah, I don't always have to put all my hours in the customer stuff. But anyway, so on that Dodge right there, where we left off last night, is I changed that brake line. And with the truck not running, and I need to write this on that paper for him, but with the truck not running, you can pump the brakes and all that. Brakes work fine. When you crank the truck up and hit the brakes 3, 4, 5 times, they just keep building and holding pressure. So because I don't have all the computers and everything, I cannot give you a diagnostic number on it. But what I can tell you is happening is on the 2012 Ram 1500, it's an ABS module problem. It's either the ABS compressor or the ABS module itself. One of the two is faulty, and it makes the truck think that it's out of control, or it's sliding, or it's part of the traction control system trying to get the truck to stop because the computer thinks it's out of control. Okay. He had mentioned that the traction control light on the right hand bottom corner of the dash came on. Okay. The one on the left hand corner, bottom corner of the dash, is when you hit the button and it turns it on and off. So we tried to even turn the traction control off to see if that would stop it. Nope. It's somehow encrypted in or something. I don't know. I can't clear it. I don't think I can clear it. I might try that real quick. But anyway, but it's in the ABS module, and so he's gonna have to take it to a Dodge dealer or something like that to be able to get that fixed the rest of the way. I'm gonna try and clear the code on it with my computer and see what it'll do, but I don't have a whole lot of hope. And then we're gonna move back to getting this side of the rocker arms all set, Loctited in, get the poly locks on, and we'll start adjusting the valves in the morning. But that being said, guys, when I bring this back, this engine, we'll be finishing it up to get it ready to run. So it took longer than I thought on the Dodge, so therefore I didn't get to finish that. But it's all good. It's all good. Every step of this process I'm bringing you guys along on, and getting to show y'all what my everyday life is like, trying to work from home and all that. Yeah. We're gonna finish that engine up. and I will show you all that. But the next video, so for next week, the next video is going to be solely on that Harley. Okay? So make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because we got to pull the engine and trans and all off of that and start taking it apart to get it ready for a full build. But the engine's still locked up on it, which means we got to pull jugs and stuff. Yay! So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can see all that fun. And yeah, we'll go from there. That's what next week will be. In the meantime, remember, if it doesn't challenge you, it don't change you. And as always, I want to give a big thank you to Super Clean yet again, because they're coming in clutch on the Harley, on the engine, on the OBS Chevy, and everything. So if you don't know where that stuff is, hit me up. I'll tell you where you can get it. If you're overseas, if you're not in the lower 48, try Amazon. That's the best I can tell you. I don't know if they can ship it out there or not. But if you're in the lower 48 and don't know where to get it, hit me up. I'll tell you where you can get it at in your area. All right? That's going to do it for this one, guys, and I will catch y'all next week. Peace.